long time no see. So I was going through my YouTube ideas, and one of them was talking about personality insecurity. Also, I'm gonna be getting ready, so like I'm not really going anywhere, but I do have an online interview for Hollister. Guys, I'm trying to get a summer job. Like, I need money. Like, it's actually bad. Like, I just wanted to talk about how, like, since I was like a kid, I think one of my biggest insecurities has literally just been my personality. I feel like even more than like insecurities, it's been my personality. Okay, I will say, like, I'm not completely like, oh my gosh, I hate myself. I'm like depressed over it, like stuff like that. But I have been frustrated with myself for a good majority of my life. And I I don't think my personality is terrible. Like there are a lot of things that I do like about myself, but I always just like come back to the thoughts of like I just kind of wish it was different. So when I was a kid, I was like quiet, shy girl, very much like to myself, introverted, and I was also like an only child until I was 8 years old. I did have like, like friends. Like I played with other kids, or like family friends where they had kids that were around my age and we would like play together, stuff like that. But like if it's just me at home, like it's me in my playroom by myself. I was very chill with that. Oh, trust. I had so many dolls. I had a ball playing by myself. I still have a ball like with my alone time, like trust me. I don't think that alone time is a bad thing. That's what I was very used to. Still, even to this day, like even as I got older, being like quiet and like shy and introverted never left me. Like it wasn't a phase. Like I didn't grow out of that. Like that's just that's just like how I am. I think it started to get frustrating in middle school, especially because obviously started to become more self-aware and insecure about stuff. I went to a private middle school, so there wasn't a lot of us, and I was there since fourth grade. So like in middle school, I already had friends and I knew the people that I was in my class and everything, but I very much like kept to like the 2 3 friends that I had, like. And even with those friends, I still found it like very hard to be myself around them. It was a trio of us. If it was just me with either one of them, I go mute. Okay, not mute, but like I felt like I was just more quiet and more awkward and just like anxious. And it made me really sad because it's like these are people that I consider to be my best friends, but then when it's not the 3 of us around each other, I kind of felt like the in between floater friend. Like that's how I've always felt. I've never been somebody's favorite, kind of like, and especially with trios, it's kind of hard because it's like I really felt like I was just kind of there just to be there almost sometimes. They weren't bad friends, they didn't do anything bad, but I think it's just that like I'm I don't know, like it's literally just me. They would put in effort to like hang out with me like one on one and stuff, and then whenever we did, I just felt like it was super duper awkward and I hated that. And it made me feel like dang, like I really wish that I wasn't so like anxious, like socially anxious and like quiet and introverted. Like it makes you feel like you're boring, and it makes like having to make friends feel super hard because that school only went to 8th grade. So after middle school, it wasn't even like, oh, like at least I'm still going to the same like public high school as some of the people from my middle school. No, like we moved to a different town, to a different city. So I went to a public high school where I knew nobody except for like my cousin, but like she's older than me. So we weren't even like seeing each other for real. I was like struggling like my freshman year. Oh, girl. That's like lonely of lonely. Like it's so like ugh, I remember just like talking to my mom about it in the morning, because she would like drive me to school and everything. And we always pray before school. And one of the things that I would always like ask her to pray about with me was like finding friends and making friends. And now whenever I think about it, like it makes me feel so sad. It wasn't like super tragic to me. I just didn't like the feeling of being alone and everybody else has their friends, which like who does like that feeling when they're in high school? So it was just really hard. Hi, this is Editing Hirasa. I wanted to add in here because I did talk about how in high school I was like struggling with not knowing anybody and having friends. It happened, okay? Like the beginning of sophomore year, I became friends with a girl that I shared a class with in ninth grade. And from me being friends with her, I sat with her at lunch and I met my friend group that I had throughout the rest of high school. So it did happen, okay? I am so grateful for them. And I was so happy that I had friends and we had so much fun together. But again, I will say it was still that situation where I was like, there's something like that's just preventing me from fully being myself around these people. And it has nothing to do with them and everything to just do with me because I loved being friends with them. I still follow them on social media now. And I'm like, ooh, I wonder what she's doing. I wonder what's going on. And I love seeing their little updates and stuff. So, yeah, I did want to put that in because it wasn't tragic throughout high school. God answered my prayers. I feel like for me, if I'm talking about like right now, I've also been feeling that a whole lot more because it's like I see so many people that are around my age and they all have their little like friend groups or they have like not even like having a lot of friends because obviously having a lot of friends is not like it doesn't matter, but even just like having like one close best friend. And I just felt like, yeah, that's not like I don't have that. It's literally because I just feel so awkward around other people and I'm just like not able to be myself around anybody, like to fully be myself around anyone, and it's so annoying. I feel like I'm really good at small talk. Like if I randomly strike up a conversation with like a stranger, oh, that's perfect. Like that's so easy. It feels so like easy, free. There's no like, oh my gosh, I might see this person again. Like, it's just like, whatever. When people were like talking about, oh, I hate small talk, like, let's talk about something deep. I can only do deep conversations. Girl. Like, bye. Like, I love small talk. I love talking to random strangers. I feel like it's so like, it's just like fun and easy. But when it comes to like talking to people that I know that I see consistently that are in my life, I feel like my relationship with people is always surface level. And even people that I've considered like friends for a long time, it's like I can never get past like the first phase of friendship. It feels like like that first phase where it's like, okay, we're still like getting to know each other. Maybe it's like, oh, I don't know if I should ask them if I can hang out. Like, it feels a little weird. What if they're like, oh, she's doing too much? Like, it feels kind of weird. I don't know if I can say this thing around them. Like, I feel like that's always the phase that I stay in with my friendships. And it's like I see these other people with their friends and they're like super close to them, calling them all the time, always hanging out. Even if they're not always hanging out, it's just like, they just feel like super comfortable with each other. And it's like, I can never reach that stage. And it's really annoying. I feel like there's people that I've attempted to reach that stage with, but obviously it hasn't really happened. I was thinking about it today because I took a walk, and I feel like something that kind of stops me from reaching out to people sometimes, actually asking people to hang out or like to talk to people and stuff like that, is I just have this fear of awkwardness. I feel like every single social interaction that I have with people is super awkward. Like with people that I know, I don't know why. I just feel like every time I try to be social with people, it turns out to be awkward. I'm an overthinker and I overanalyze stuff. So I know that it's also just my brain like just making me think things that aren't true. But at the same time, it's like when I do think back to it, I just feel like I'm always super awkward and I don't like that. I think that like for a while, even when I was younger, I took a lot of pride in being an introvert. I was like, like it's cool to be like quiet and like you know, be able to enjoy alone time by yourself and stuff like that. Also because my mom, I love my mom so much, and I feel like my personality is the most like hers. And she's the same way. Like, she told me that she used to even be like way quieter and like way more like shy and everything than she is now. And so I also always kind of like I see myself in her so much, and I know that like her, even like compared to my dad, who's like the complete opposite. He's like a total extrovert. He talks to people all the time, and he's loud. Like, not even in a bad way, but he is. I can see like the good parts in both of them. Like, even with my mom, like I see how a lot of people gravitate towards her because of her calm energy and stuff like that. Like, even though she is similar to me in that way, she still, you know, has a lot of like close friends she'll have deep conversations with. And, she's just like, I just think that she's a great person. And it's like, so in my head, I'm like, okay, like it's not a bad thing. But I don't know why, for me, it feels like it's bad at times. But it has made me like have thoughts like a lot where I'm like, I just wish that I was an extrovert. Like, I wish I didn't care so much about how social interactions go and stuff like that, because I feel like it's stopped me from doing so much. Oh, I cannot talk while I do this. Wait, hold on. Okay. I was saying, I think, especially now, like being at the age that I am, I'm 22. I turned 22 in April, and it just feels like it's like at my big age, I'm still struggling with this. Like, when is it gonna end? I didn't think that at 22 I'd still be this insecure, which I guess like now that I am this age, it kind of makes sense. Like, when you're a kid, you think that being a young adult is like so incredibly grown and like old and stuff like that, and then you become that age and it's like, oh, like, right, like I understand why people talk about being a teenager in your 20s, because literally like being in your 20s, it feels like being a teenager, but you can like being a teenager but with more freedom, legal freedom, and I'm like, yeah, like I get it. That's literally how it feels. Like, there's no way I'm actually an adult. This type of insecurity, like, it hits so much deeper than the physical insecurities, because it's like, if I'm insecure about how my hair is looking, I know I can easily change that. But being insecure about my personality, it's like, that's just a big part of who I am as a person. How can I just like randomly change my personality? Like, I guess you could. You wouldn't really be like true to who you are. I think something I really need to start doing is like I need to go back to journaling like I used to. I also think like girl, like I should go to therapy. I've been putting it off so much, but like low-key, I think it could be helpful for me. Especially because I'm a psychology major, like hello. Right. I actually have a really good example of how this looks in my life. So there's like this family friend that my family has. Wow, really? And they're a pretty big family, especially now. And we've literally known them since my parents and I first came to America. I was born in Zambia. Super fun. When we moved here, we lived with them for a little bit, and then now, we've known them for all these years. So now it's like we spend all the holidays and like birthdays and stuff like that with each other. And so I've literally known them since I was a baby, like since I was like not even 2 years old yet. And they have, you know, kids. Some of them are like close to my age. So you would think surely this family friend, this big family, there's people that are close in age to you. There's people that you've called aunt and uncle before, and you see them, you know, multiple times in a year. You would think surely like, oh yeah, like you're just super comfortable with each other. Girl, I don't know what it is, like I just like, even when I was a kid, like obviously, as I said before, I was pretty shy and quiet, I don't know what it is, but like I just have always felt super awkward. I don't know if it's like the environment of like most of the times when we would go there and we were celebrating something, it would be a lot of people, a lot of people. And that can feel like intimidating for a shy little girl. So I would like either just like stick to myself, or I would also like I would play with the kids, but I would mostly like play with the younger kids and like the kids that were younger than me. For me, it felt like easier to be with like little kids than to be hanging out with like the adults, or even like sometimes like the people that are closer to my age, because it just felt more, it felt easier, felt less intimidating, less pressure. It's like I don't need to worry so much about being super social and talkative because the kid's gonna do it for you. Like I used to work at a preschool, I help out at church with like the little kids and stuff like that. Like, I've been doing that since I was 12. So, like that's just part of it. But like also part of it is like just how much easier it feels to be around kids. And it actually made me pretty sad because it's like I would also hang out with the kids that are around my age, but I would still be like super quiet and awkward around them. And they were super nice, and I like it's so annoying because even as I got older, like when I was like a teenager and then even like around now, like I just felt like, oh, like I wish that I was closer to them, but it's always just, I don't know, like it's always just like I just feel so anxious, and I just feel so like, and it's not even like it's because of them, like who they are. They're all like super nice and welcoming and they talk to me. And I'm like, I wish that I was closer to them. I wish that we were closer friends, but I don't know. I feel like now compared to before, I'm a lot more comfortable in my skin, and I can kind of push past like feeling awkward a little bit better than I used to. Like, even if I do feel awkward talking to somebody, I can still kind of be like, like ask a little question or like say something, bring it up a lot easier than how it was when I was younger. So I have been having the thought of like, oh, maybe I should just like text them and be like, hey, you want to hang out or something? Whenever I have that thought, then I start overthinking about it, and I'm like, oh, what if they're like, oh, why is she texting me, like this is weird? Or like if they do say yes and then we hang out and then I'm like just quiet and awkward again, and then it's like, why did we even attempt? That's like my fear. I'm hoping that I can get over it because I long so bad to have like deep like friendships and relationships with people, and to have people that I call friend that I can just like randomly text every day and call and actually hang out with and feel comfortable to be myself around. And it's like, okay, girl, like you want that, but what are you doing to make it happen? Right, right, right. Yeah. Do I look tea or what? I feel like my makeup does not look good like on camera. It looks good in person, but on camera it's like, girl, are you even wearing anything? One last thing I'll say is like, I think also for me, I find it so much easier to be myself online, obviously. I've been posting online since I was 8 years old, technically. Like, I made some YouTube videos at 8 years old. And tell me why I knew how to post them. Yeah, they're private now, but like, they're still there. First of all, I was a Musically kid. Oh, I was posting on Musically multiple times every single day. When Musically turned into TikTok, I was there. When the pandemic happened, I was posting multiple times every single day. I was so chronically online, OMG. And even now, like, I still do post online, especially on TikTok and stuff like that. And it's like, I don't know, I just find it so easy. And it's so funny because like some people that I know in real life will find those accounts and they're like, girl, like this is you? Like, where is this Hadassah in person? Like, where is this Hadassah right now? And I'm like, like she's in there. It's just when I get around people, I just like suddenly go mute. Like, not completely mute, but it's like, when you have like thoughts in your head. And I feel like what happens with a lot of people is they'll think something and then they'll instantly just like say it. But for me, it's like I'll think something and then I'm like, I should say this out loud. 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 And then I keep having that thought, like, I should say this out loud, like, over and over again. Suddenly, 5 minutes have passed, 10 minutes have passed, like, the moment is over. I just overthink, like, so much, and it's really annoying. That's all I really have to say. Now I have to do a job interview. Wish me luck. I want to start making more YouTube videos. I always say that, bro. But, like, genuinely, I actually really do. And like I said before, I have ideas. I just need to execute them well. If you don't know who I am, my name is Hadassah. My Instagram is HaddieCLaura, and my TikTok is HadassahLaura. You should follow me on TikTok mostly. That's where I mostly post, even though I haven't really been posting lately, but that's like my main platform. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Good afternoon, God bless, and goodbye.